Hey, it's Sheldon with TigerTough here. Right now you're looking at a set of our seat covers on the front seats of a Toyota 4Runner. These are our gray iron weave covers. Now, let's go over everything that you get. Headrest cover, seat back cover, and seat bottom cover. These are all separate pieces because that lets you adjust your seat however you want and not screw up how the cover fits. Now, the material is 1000 denier Cordura, American-made material, waterproof, so that if you have one of those days where your Folgers goes upside down in your lap, the only thing getting wet is your pants. The seat underneath the cover, not getting wet. This material is also super strong and abrasion resistant, which means that it's almost impossible to destroy. And then that lets us give you a 2-year unconditional warranty. That means if anything breaks for any reason whatsoever, it is covered under warranty. Also, they're airbag compatible. So you see this white seam right down this corner where the factory seam is on the seats. That lets your airbags deploy if you ever need them. And finally, my favorite part, 100% made in the USA. Before we start putting the covers on this seat, you need to pop the headrest off. So I just pull it up like that until it's maxed out, push in this button, and then it pulls up. Now we don't need that for a little bit, so we'll tuck it in the back seat. Now, if your seat is height adjustable, raise it up all the way. This is gonna make it easier to put on. If it's not height adjustable, you can go ahead and skip this step. There is a carpet flap right here that runs down the back of the seat. We need to take this off, not completely off, just undo it. So there's a hook right underneath there where this elastic is wrapped around. I just undid that. This will end up tucking up inside the seat cover, and the seat cover has got its own flap. Now I've got the seat bottom cover and got the one that has got the driver tag on it because we're working on the driver's seat. We'll just start by getting this laid over the seat bottom. I'm going to take these flaps and just push them through here between the seat back and the seat bottom. We'll deal with them in a little bit, but we'll get them out of our way for now. I tried to take these ones on the sides and run them as close to the edge as possible because we are going to have to get them around some wires that go up into the seat back. The cover is taking the shape of the seat bottom, so the seams in the cover here lining up with the seams on the seat bottom. Now, right down here is a plastic trim that goes across the front of the seat. The cover has to go behind that. So if you try to run the cover like this, A, it's not going to fit very well, and B, these straps could end up being too short. So I just push the seat back just a little bit, squish the foam in, and then you can pull that through just like that. Gets you a nice clean look. Now, right around the corner here, that plastic trim wraps around the front corner of the seat. What I'm going to do is just push the cover back in behind that. And then, moving over here closest to the door. Now this string does not go down here like this. When you push the seat cushion over, you can see right there, there's a little bit of light. That's where the string goes, right down in there. And now we're going to take the cover and tuck right behind that plastic trim. So this is where that string is sewn into the cover all the way around. So when we pull it tight, it's going to work kind of like a drawstring and cinch this up. Also, having it behind this plastic helps keep it from moving. Now, these are the 3 flaps that we pushed through before, and you can see right here, there's a wire going up into the seat back, right where the cover is split to go around it, and the same goes for this yellow wire. So that's why I pushed these ones through off to the side, this one through to the center. Now, this part's going to be really hard for you to see, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing while I do it. And I'm grabbing those strings that we pushed down and I'm pushing them over top of the seat rails. So the rail that's bolted to the floor, I like to run the string over top of that so that way the string is right tight against the seat bottom and doesn't rub on those rails when you're sliding it back and forth. It's super easy to do on this side here. On the door side, it's a little more difficult on the center console side, but it is doable. Now what I'm going to do is just take these strings, pull them as tight as I can, and that's going to start that drawstring effect around that seat bottom cover. Then we break out the string lock, and this is what is going to, you guessed it, lock these strings together. Feed it in one end like that. Then I pull it off to one side, lock that in, and then we do the same with the other side. Feed it through. And now it's gonna disappear up underneath the seat there. But what I'm gonna do is work it back and forth a little bit to make sure that you can feel it. It's nice and tight. And that's gonna keep your seat from moving back and forth. Now I'm taking these flaps right here and pushing them underneath the seat, all the way back. So this one, we're gonna pull it as tight as possible and make sure it hooks both of those flaps. So the wide one from the center and the small one on the side. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Pull it as tight as you can, hook both the wide one in the center, small one in the side, and that's it for the seat bottom cover. Now we're gonna cover the back, and I've already gone through and undone all of the hook and loop, but you're gonna wanna make sure that you have the TigerTough tag and the airbag tag facing the door. So you can see this also has a tag that says driver on it. So you've got 3 tags to help you make sure you're getting it on right. What I like to do is turn it half, 3/4-ish of the way inside out. I'm actually gonna slide the seat ahead so it's a little easier to work on. By turning it part way inside out like that, it lets you pull it down nice and tight against the top of the seat, and then just stretch the cover around that plastic trim like so. That makes it look good and it helps hold the cover in place. And now we just unroll the cover down. Now let's go down to the back of the seat. This flap right here that we had undone, that has to get tucked up inside the cover like that. Now we can go back around to the front and push all 4 of these flaps through. It's easiest if you double them up like this, because this hook Velcro right here wants to stick to everything once you push it through the seat. So I like to double it up and then push it through. Just makes it a little bit easier. There's one. Basically, I'm pushing them through with one hand and I'm catching them and finishing pulling them through with the hand that I've got behind the seat. Now we'll just pull all of them nice and tight like that. I'm gonna undo this, hold that up with my arm while we take these and pull these as tight as you humanly can, because the tighter they're pulled, the better these are gonna fit across the front of your seat. Get that nice smooth look on your covers. There. Those are all stuck up. Now this flap, we just pull down and stick up underneath the cover on the bottom, and then that replaces the flap that we undid before. I'm just gonna make sure that the cover is wrapped around. There's no big wrinkles, none of that. And there isn't, so now I'm gonna push the seat all the way down. If your seat doesn't go up and down, then obviously skip that step. Click the headrest in place, and then the cover goes on with this long flap hanging down the front. Driver and passenger covers are the same, so they won't be tagged. But I'm just pulling it down, making sure that seams are lined up with the headrest, and then stretch that flap back and tuck it up inside the cover. Now you see on the backs of the covers, there's some little reliefs cut right here. And that is because you can see right here how wide the headrest is, and so how wide the cover has to be. And then you come down here and it's much narrower. So if those reliefs aren't cut in there, you have to violently squeeze your headrest in order to get the cover over it. It's just a lot harder to put on and makes your experience kind of rough. So we put those reliefs in there so that the headrest goes on and off really easily. That's all there is to it. We're finished.